Episode 4, 2024.
That's wild. That actually,
Way.
it hasn't solidified for me yet.
No, it's not rolling off the tongue at all.
2024?
I wrote 2023 the other day. Literally. Like,
when people say, like, 2000,
that.
I'm still thinking that was not that long ago.
It really wasn't.
No.
Come on, it really wasn't.
So, 2024 feels strange.
Yeah. But here we are. New day, new things.
It's true.
It's true. It's where we are. So however you landed, however you got here, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've crawled in, walked in. Nice. Talking about crawling and walking in, what's your 2 weeks in look like?
2 weeks in of 2024 or 2 weeks in of January? I guess it's the same
Both,
thing.
pretty much, yeah.
So 2 weeks in, we are starting something really new.
Yeah. We're doing a 75-day challenge. 75 days is like, oof. That ain't no create a habit days. That's just, we're keeping it going.
Yeah,
Almost
that's
3 months.
A fourth of a year.
Yeah. So tell them what it is. What's the given?
Well, we're trying 75 soft, and we're doing it our way. We're like abiding by the rules that we found, and then like, you know, kind of formulating them to be like our lifestyle.
Yeah.
But the rules are: 1, we drink 3 liters of water, which first of all, I didn't even know what 3 liters were. I had to put it into the computer
the
calculator
ounces.
thing,
Yeah,
you know?
how many ounces is that?
It was 101.
Shiza. Crazy.
Okay, so that's number 1.
Insane.
2 is working out daily.
Yeah.
3 is eating
like 80-20 diet.
Yeah, 80-20 or like just like a healthy
diet.
Lifestyle diet.
Right.
4 is...
So 4 would be take a progress picture. Progress
photo
picture daily, every day. Another one
5
was...
is do something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Oh. Another one is...
I'm sure you're not missing any. I don't think you are. Oh, the 10 pages of a book.
Oh, yeah. Read 10 pages a day. There's one more.
That's it. The drinking.
There's 7.
So eat healthy, 1 workout a day, 3 liters of water, 10 pages of a book, something that makes you happy, take progress photo, and then only drinking socially.
I know. Only drinking socially.
Yeah. I thought you said that already.
I didn't hear
water.
You. I was talking about water.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, alcohol.
But
that's the other side.
So, what are your thoughts? Like, how's that going for you?
Okay, high-low. High is definitely my workouts, but that's just because I'm accustomed to kind of like figuring out, you know, how to do that. But my low is actually, it made me feel kind of sad when I was thinking about it, because I'm like, dang, my low is actually like struggling to find something that makes me happy every day, like to do. And I think it's just like my time management more than anything, like just making the time. It's not that I don't want to do things that make me happy all day long, but just making sure I have the time. I've been struggling with that. So I'm going to make it a point this next week to go hard, or like even the rest of the time. Like, okay, no, instead of that being at the end, that needs to go at the top.
Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's start with that.
That's real.
How about you? High, low?
Well, actually, I think my high, right now, as of right now at least, I'm not going to say that this will be for the whole 75 days, but right now my high is actually doing something that makes me happy.
It's flipped for you.
And I think
I love that for you, though.
I think it's happened that way recently. Like, I've just been doing things that make me happy. And it's come a little bit more natural, and other seasons that hasn't been the case. And so it just so happened 2024 gave me some gifts of like, oh, you have some time to do this. Oh, like, you know, Erin planned this date already, or like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. My low of the challenge is this water.
Because you be bloating. Listen, you're gonna be bloating and floating,
I wasn't anticipating that. I wasn't anticipating, one, that I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
I wasn't anticipating that it was gonna be so challenging to drink that much water. I wasn't anticipating that. I mean, I knew I was gonna have to pee a lot, but dang. I don't know about you, but there's been some close calls. Like,
that part.
I had to go, pump gas in my car, and it's like, wait.
Hold on.
I gotta be.
Hold on. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I've had, this is such a, okay, transparency. I was driving like a good distance, from one spot to the next. And I'm like, I'm drinking my water. Started off like just guzzling. Child, the midway through, I was like, I've got to stop drinking the water. Because at this point, we are racing to the door. Yeah. We are in wherever we got to go. So definitely a part. But also, it did make me feel good that like, it feels like a cleanse too.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely bloating like first week. For sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. So our next segment is our sis picks. Yeah. And so because we're kind of talking about encouragement and like encouraging into this new season, my question for you is, what is your favorite time that we've supported each other?
Yeah. Which, when we were kind of talking about this a little bit, it was very interesting that like we had to figure out, well, in what like area of life, because we do support each other quite a bit over the whole span of our lives, since we're actually known each other for so long, since birth. So that was kind of special to me to feel like, well, dang, well, which one, like where, what area, and I know not everybody has that, but I just encourage people to get that feeling of like, well, when you went here, or when you were at a show here, or whatever it may be. So number one, that was like a big thing for me. I think a time that that first time that came to mind that you really supported me heavy was when I used to do pageants. And like that was a time where I didn't feel super confident that I was gonna win these pageants for real. I was just more like, I was excited about the glam girl all day, the fashion of it all. A little bit of competition, because like I'm always down for that, but
so you were always there. Let's give some background as to like where in your life were these happening?
These pageants. Okay, so I used to do some just in high school. I don't think I did any in middle school. I think high school is when it started, which is or did I do some in like middle school? No, I think high school is when it kind of started. And I wasn't like being coached by anybody. It wasn't some like high level like stakes, but it was just like around our area that we lived in. And I just remember you always being there for me, and at least being my like home outside of like, or maybe in the like mix of like backstage, getting the outfits, doing my speech, you just listening to it and being like, critiquing as you do. We were practicing the critique early. Like, no, that doesn't ring well, or whatever. Like, even when you were younger than me.
Like that though?
She's a little shady palms. So no, maybe you probably didn't. You were probably very nice about it, because I would be really high kind of anxiety as we got closer to it, and I just remember you being like the calming, human that was there for me. My sister being like, letting me vent to you, like all the things. Like my homegirl was already with me through all of the stages of those really like critical, like maybe I could have been really critical on myself times. Yeah. You were there like my blanket, like, oh, it's okay, you look beautiful. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. So yeah, those are some of the big moments that I remember you being there for me.
Do you remember the time that you didn't actually go to your pageant?
You know what? I kind of remember that, and I feel like it was like because I was caught between two things I had to decide. Yeah. And then the fact that you went, and I'm like, whose idea? I think that was Mom's idea. Yeah. Where she was like, oh, you tell the story, okay? Like, she asked you to go.
Yeah. So you had a basketball tournament that was overlapping the pageant that you had to go to. And it was because you had won a pageant and then you had to go to like the next level or something like that.
Yes.
And so Mom had signed you up, had already, paid all the dues and stuff. Right. And then you had this basketball tournament and you were like, well, like,
I already committed. Yeah.
I'm going to do the basketball tournament.
I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm. And Mom was like a little frantic and she was like, well,
I already paid for this.
And it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what are we gonna do? And she looks over at me and I'm like, what are we gonna do?
The fact that she's looking at you like, so? And you, what were you giving?
I was not giving that I wanted to do that at all. Like,
right.
At all.
Who's gonna step in for somebody during a pageant? Sorry. Yeah.
And so she got me though, because she said, this is maybe 8th or 9th grade. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, well, if you do it, then I'll get your nails done. I had never gotten acrylic. She was like, I'll let you get your nails done.
Yes.
Like,
okay.
Okay, but I did not enjoy it. And that's
the nail part you did.
Okay.
The nail part started something.
Yeah, that started something within me. But
but the rest.
The rest, we're just gonna leave it at. I just didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
Now
I could see where that is a very real thing.
What is my favorite time that you support me?
Yeah.
And you have supported me is I really enjoy like hosting parties and events and like game nights and things like that. We both do.
We have that in common.
And sometimes I feel like I get a little bit over the top with like the things that I want to do.
Right.
But some of the ideas come later on in the planning process.
Towards the end.
Sometimes,
to be clear, maybe same day, maybe day before
of the party or the day before, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little tasks that end up
needing to be done. Yeah. Absolutely. Go ahead, tell it. Yeah. Needing to be done. Yeah.
For example, it might be I decided I'm going to make some stickers for the cups.
Right.
And because I'm making stickers for the cups, I can't actually go to the store and get the plates.
Right. Get the tools, the items actually needed. I gotta make the stickers
now.
Right.
So, what are you doing?
I'm literally going to all the stores. Good thing we have her partner now, and we like tag team it, because it used to be that like I would just, number one, we're not the best planners for these things. Like when it comes down to the day, we're on it. We feel like, yeah, let's do it. But leading up to, we aren't. Both of us are kind of like we late to the last minute. So it's really on us more than anything. But
you trying to get better. In and you
I do, because it's like when it's time to go, I'm like, the party's about to happen, so let's make a list. Yeah, we're good for some lists and be like, all right, let's separate.
And it used to be like a little bit more. I think it used to be a little more frantic. It used to be a little bit more like, we gotta get this done. I think now, it's not. It's that energy isn't as much, but I appreciate that you were there and the times where I was freaking out, and then also the times where I just added an extra task to our already pretty full schedule.
Used to it. 30 years in, you know what I mean? Used to it. It's fine.
30 years in.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Exactly. Gotta be there for you. Gotta be there for you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Very good. Our next segment is called the Code Breakdown. Mm-hmm. And so every episode we have really kind of like created some type of code, which is why it's called Sister Code, around the episode.
Yeah.
And so something that we came up with, we wanted to talk about, is this idea of living boldly. And what the actual definition is we encourage each other to make steps in our lives in a bold way. And I feel like you were going to give the definition of boldness, or what bold means.
Yeah. Really so the definition that we like kind of agreed on that like fit our lifestyle, like how we really like try to support each other is boldness being going beyond traditional boundaries, often characterized by originality and departure from the norm.
Yeah.
And so I think that in general, especially in our adult lives, we really pay attention to what areas that we are like naturally confident in, but more importantly, the areas that each other struggle showing up
where
with
you can
boldness.
Pick up, and,
absolutely. And I think that part of being a sister is recognizing that.
Absolutely.
And encouraging each other to step into that boldness. Right. And to step into whatever has to be done, or, even if it's not that it has to be done, but it could be done, you know?
Right. I can really, I feel like people use the word encouragement a lot, but like if you really think about someone who not only like cheerleads for you, but like pushes you, you know, I think like growing up, I don't know that I wasn't as open maybe to someone like challenging my thoughts or how I felt about things, but like to have a friend that challenges you and says, that's not maybe, you know, let's look at it this way in love. Like that's really, I feel like what we're trying to build in our friend group now, or like as sisters.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving the needle in the bold part.
For sure. And so typically we then kind of talk about what and how we might not make the mark.
Yeah.
In this next segment of Sister Confessions.
Yeah.
And so I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so like the confession being a time that I didn't necessarily take the bold step. And so for me, I feel like sometimes I don't always walk in my boldness as it relates to like taking steps towards my like overall wellness. I think that I'm 30 now, and obviously like my body has changed from my 20s and into now, and I think that there has been times where I've, you know, walked very proud in how I'm taking care of my body, and then there's times that I haven't, you know? Right. And I think that sometimes I might miss the mark in shooting for the bold decisions as it relates step. To you know, like, are you gonna really meal prep? Yeah. Like you said you were gonna do it a few times and you didn't do it. You bought the things. Like
you did it for a week.
You know, maybe that's just not my thing.
Right, not that part. Take you
when
like
knowing
cherry
good and well, that's something that has to be everybody's part.
Right.
You know, it's everybody's responsibility to like take care of themselves, and so I think sometimes I remember the times that I missed the mark, and that kind of like can block my judgment, and like going into 75 soft. I definitely have felt that where like I am not feeling bold about my capacity for working out daily or my ability to, you know, make sure that I'm checking off all of these lists, you know?
Yeah, the boxes.
It's also paired with the fact that like, but I have.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've done it now, and I've also done it before, and, like, looking back at, like, the times that, like, I have done it before. I have taken care of myself, and I have, you know, put myself first as it relates to my wellness. Right. And so it's just, like, it's one of those, like, little dances of, like, today I feel empowered to be bold. Today I need a little bit more oomph, whether it be from myself, whether it be from reading some journals, right. You know, calling on my sisters. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, for that encouragement. Which is not easy to do. Yeah. Not as easy as people think.
Fair.
Wow. I love that. You? Dang.
What about you?
I think for me, something that, a moment when I miss the mark is sometimes I feel like I can miss the mark relationally in some things. And not in all the ways that I think people think right away, like maybe not partner as much, but I think just like with my friendships and my sisterhoods, like in particular. Sometimes I can miss it for different reasons. And it's just part of my growth, I think. I'm giving myself a little grace to be like, okay, but at least I'm intentional about maybe showing up in love here, or having a different tone there, and just showing up at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's definitely some areas that I need to still, but
so like as it relates to boldness, like what does that look like? What does it look like when you miss the mark in being bold?
Friendship wise, relationships. Yeah. I think just I think being there for someone in a way that is selfless, is authentic, and like genuine. Those are the words that come to mind. Where it's like, being bold is maybe standing next to your friend, you know, figuratively or literally, and like stepping up again, like I said, like pushing them in love. So it might, you know, almost be like a gentle push or a gentle hug, but it's like, okay, you know, some moments you might say like, well, I cried about it, we both did, now we're going to do something about it. So like, I have been known to be pretty good at like helping people push themselves in a gentle way. And now I feel like I'm just like being intentional about leaning into it, not just like I do it for work.
Gotcha. So like,
so that's how it's
that
funny.
Like you've always shown up with that gentle support, and so sometimes that bold support can be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like, I feel that. That's
being
real.
honest,
That's
you
real.
know?
And that kind of goes back to, we often talk about the difference between being nice and being kind.
Oh, yeah.
And how, you know, it's nice to just
Rah,
cheer,
rah.
cheer, cheer.
Right,
You know,
go
you're
home.
doing great. Everything is good. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the harder part is that kindness of
like, hey, let's
being real and saying, hey, honest. Like,
yeah,
I know that we talked about you doing it a different way.
Yeah.
Like, or that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That can be uncomfortable.
I think we're learning how to do it in the challenge.
Yeah.
Because when you do it with a group or like with your sisters, whoever you decide to do it with, you're kind of looking to each other to lean and sway, and like, you know, you take a little bit of my, like, if I call you and I'm like, girl, are you done with your water? We just said that today. Like, no, I'm only halfway. Okay, it's 8:00. So, you know, what you gonna do? And that being like that gentle, loving way. Yeah. Rather than, you know, or I think another way that I think, you know, I've even failed in the past is like the gossipy way. Like, I'm trying to give good feedback maybe, or like I'm saying that I'm not talking about them maybe out of anything else but love, but it's not love. You know what I mean? Like, and so on the back end, I'm saying like, I've missed the mark too of not being bold, and maybe somebody else saying something and me not maybe stepping in and saying like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to talk like that. We're not going to move like that. Yeah. And that's who I want to be. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you want to be the one to say, hey, like, let's not, or learn how to adjust the conversation. Like, I think that's such a skill, and that's like very powerful to be able to be like, you know what? She just probably is trying to work on bettering herself. So anyway, what are we about to have for lunch? You know what I mean? And being able to pivot instead of it being like anything else.
You know who I imagine is so good at that?
Who? You about to name a person?
I'm about to name a person.
A human? That's walking this green earth right now.
Honestly, it's the only person I can think of that I think
it's gotta be
I would want to be able to like watch how you do it and like, let me see how you do it. I want to emulate it. Spill it. Tabitha.
I knew you were going to say that.
I feel like she is probably just the most
epitome of that. Grace.
Gentle, but yet bold, but yet
just a sprinkle of firmness that you need. With that hug at the end.
With like a finesse to it.
With the finesse, with a swag. A swag that is unmatched. And that's why she is who she is. Absolutely. Tabitha, if you ever listen to this, girl.
Look. We're watching.
We love you, girl. We love you. We're watching you.
We're
to become who
we
absolutely.
You know?
Become who we want to be.
Absolutely.
Walking that way. Tabitha, you be doing it, girl. You be doing it. Our next portion is called Sis Tips, and this is a time where we kind of give you tips on how to combat the code, work the code, be the code. So what are some of your tips you would say for encouraging your sister to be bold?
Yeah, for sure. I think that making sure to remind your sister of who she is, as well as like what she's already done. Absolutely. So like when you've walked with someone for some time, like you get to know them in a way and have a perspective about them that, you know, can be the positive reminder that we sometimes have a hard time seeing and knowing within ourselves. And so being the person to say, hey, like, first of all, you've done something like this before. Right. Let's talk about that. Second of all, these are the qualities that you you already have, you know, exactly. that like you are going to propel you into this next step.
Right.
So just being that voice that is like in their head about the things that it's easy to forget about.
Right. Right. I love that. I think also, like, I know we were talking with our friends the other day, and we were talking about how cool it is to be 30 and are in our 30s, to where it's like, you're not starting from scratch here. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of know the gist of like the necessities of life. Things need to get paid. You got to do this to do that. You got to work hard. You know, like you have the recipe, but maybe you need to like refine it for you.
Yeah.
You know, you need some sprinkles, you need some peanut butter, like whatever it may be, and like do that for you.
Yeah, that's dope. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm getting so caught up in that. So good. Okay, so another one that I kind of already talked about. I don't want to seem like I'm like that friend. I'm really not this friend. So basically the tip is to remind her of what she said she wanted. Now, I think this one just comes naturally because of my job, but I have really tried to refine doing that in a way that's like very kind and like meets you where you are, instead of maybe like coming with a crazy tone. Or
so what's an example of it?
Of what she wanted. I think out of our keeping with our 75 soft group of ladies, I think like my messages in the group text are usually more like, okay guys, like remember why we started, like what's your why? And I'm just like, I'm that girl, but I'm only that girl because I just have become that girl.
But you need that girl.
You need that girl in the group. That's me. Absolutely. In the group. I'm like the little coach. Absolutely. And I just say like let's remember, because I also very much understand the like falling short, you know, and I think I know in my life I've gotten to the point where like I'm not afraid to show my shortcomings or be transparent about like who I am, where I'm at, because that's just how we grow. So like I want to keep growing. I want to be a student. So like, yeah, I'm just like, I get it. Like I ate through all the Oreos last night too. Like no shade. I understand, you know? So yeah, that's my tip. How about you? Any more tips?
Yeah, I have another tip. So something that I like to do also is like helping to come up with like practical next steps. So like
you're very good at
the
that.
Research and like let's throw it into the Google, to the ChatGPT. Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with
very
some,
good with that, you guys.
Some timelines. And some, you know, like let's just think it through. Let's think it deeper. Map it out. And
yeah, you're really good at that.
I appreciate it.
That's why like when I come to her, I'm like, I may not know how to do this, and she's like, okay, well, let's look at like a little to-do list. Let's map it out. Let's look at like what's next steps. And I'm like, dang, like why didn't I think of that? But she's always sounding word for that. So thanks for that. And I think the last piece, which I really I take pride in, I feel like I've been working this for a while too, is I love to set the atmosphere, set the environment. Yeah. So it's like, girl, what do you need? Yeah. Let's do that. You know, if it's I need to come over and we just light some candles, have some champagne, like whatever, let's do that. Let's have a yoga session. Let's go to a hot yoga. Like just setting the tone, I think, or maybe shifting or changing your environment is one of my favorite things to do.
Absolutely.
So I'll be that friend.
Especially when we're having those conversations of needing like that extra oomph, because I think that the times that we need those conversations are times that like we don't feel our best, and we could use a little bit of, even if it's just some scents, even if it's, you know, a candle, even if it's you know, a change of scenery, like I want to come over your house and do it over there.
Let's do it, right? Let's do my nails in your living room.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like that.
And that setting that atmosphere is so beneficial and helpful.
It's so clutch. It's clutch for me too. Like even doing work and stuff, like I'm good for like going to a coffee shop, heading out and just changing the environment and the tone. It's all about that.
Absolutely.
Get it, girl. 2024. So I can do that, boss. 2024.
All right, so we love to end each episode with giving you guys a challenge, and not just a challenge for you all to do, but it's a challenge that we also want to try out.
Partake in.
And so after talking about everything that we were going to discuss in the pod today, we thought about this idea of keeping in our minds and at the top of our minds what our sisters' goals are and what our sisters' challenges are at the moment. Facing.
Yeah.
And so, most of us have, written down our own goals or our own things that we're dealing with. And we just thought it might be really powerful to, on the flip side of that, also jot down what our friends are going through.
Yeah.
And so keeping just the same way we're praying about the things that we got going on, or we're working towards the things that we want.
Yeah.
We can be more, available mindful and available. Yeah.
Right. To help them out. Okay. So let's give an example of what that might sound like. Cool? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to call you.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me character. Okay. Ring, ring, ring. Oh, dang. Are you calling me? I'm calling you.
I'm calling you.
Dang. Okay. So I'm waiting for the phone call. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, let's give an example. Let's give an example so I can...
Oh, it again? Okay. All right. Just so we have, like, a little example, can we, like, do a little role play of what that sounds like?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's pretend I have you on my list, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what you got going on.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give you a little call.
Okay.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, what's up?
I have just been thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be super supportive of what you got going on.
Oh, thank you so much. Whose auntie am I? Thank you so much for calling. Yes, you want me to support me? Little old me? I'm so happy that you called. No, I'm sounding like somebody's nana. But okay, so like...
But, I've been, jotting down my goals and things that I want, out of 2024. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to be thinking about what you got going on, too. And I want to know what your goals are, what you're looking to shoot towards, so I can make sure that I'm showing up for you.
Oh my God, girl, my heart is so full. Hold on. Let me pull over. Hold on. I've been driving this whole time. Obviously. No arm. So I would love that. I've been really wanting to kind of connect with my friends more and see you guys, and that would be really dope. Like, I would love kind of having some accountability from a friend.
That's real, because at the end of the day, it's so easy if we don't know what each other's goals are to just not I set that in January, but like I didn't tell anybody.
Right. So did it really happen?
Was it even a goal? Like, right. I don't know.
Yeah. A little accountability partner. Yeah. Well, I would really love that. How are we gonna go about doing that, you think? Like, are we gonna link sometimes? Maybe we can like meet for coffee.
Fair.
Or go on like a friend date.
Okay. Well,
what is kind of fun too?
What does that look like for you? Like, what's your schedule looking like?
Well, it's a little hectic, but like the weekends are a little more open for me, and I would just love to just like connect with you. Whether we could just like link and bring our journals or whatever. That would be so fun. I miss you.
Purr. Yay. Okay. Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
You're like, okay, you're cutting me off now. Are you not ready to go? Are you still there?
Did we like schedule a time?
Oh, we didn't. But you get the gist.
So obviously we have to practice.
Obviously we don't really fully talk just like that. However, we would have set a time and a date, and then would have been like, text me it.
Right.
Because that's on period. I need to put it in my calendar.
For sure. So let's see how this goes. And we're going to refine our ability to do this, too. We'll talk about it.
We'll do it. We'll knock it out. Because, I really want to work on this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I really want to, like, also not gatekeep, but, like, share what we're doing, how it's going, and, like, be real about it. Be authentic with it. I'm excited. January 2024.
Whew.
We're here. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Wow.
First YouTube or video or wherever you're watching this at this time, like we're excited to do like a live version for you to see and like little like just see our faces. Let me say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
This was fun.
This is fun. Okay, we gotta do.
I know.
This is Jell's favorite part, and we've never done it like on a. Have we done it live before? Like on a video? Like we haven't recorded this.
Wow.
Yeah, because I never know how to do it. So Jell's gonna give us a tutorial again.
As we close.
I know a little bit of
it. There's our little saying that we like to say.
Mm-hmm. And we have some hand motions.
No. So.
Okay.
Through the ups, the downs, and
the
darkness, our guiding light is love. The real sister code. Yay!
Happy January. See you next time.
See you in February.
Bye.